Okay, good morning once again, one and all. So, as far as the last video lecture is concerned, so we have understand the theory of force vibration subjected to a harmonic force F is equal to F0 sine omega d. Then we derived a complete solution, that is X is equal to Xc plus Xp for a harmonic excitation. Then we have also derived the expression for steady state amplitude X and phase angle phi. Okay, so now in this particular lecture, today we will solve the problem based on force vibration and x, phi and f0 sine omega t. So let us start. So first problem, May 2010, a machine part weighing 20 Newton vibrates in a viscous medium. Determine the damping coefficient when harmonic exciting force of 25 Newton results in a resonant amplitude of 0.01 meter with a period of zero point 0.2 seconds. If the system is excited by harmonic force of frequency 4000 Hz, what will be the percentage increase in the amplitude of force vibration when dashpot is removed? So first of all, let us understand what is given. Now, a machine part weighing 20 Newton. So weight is given 20 Newton. So m is equal to 2.03 kg, that is m is equal to w upon 9.81. So from this I will get mass is equal to 2.3 kg. Determine the damping coefficient. So they have asked you to find out damping coefficient C when the harmonic exciting force of 25 Newton. Now harmonic exciting force of 25 Newton. So when it is given in terms of Newton, so harmonic exciting force F is equal to F0 sine omega t, where F0 is nothing but a static force. So the static force or harmonic exciting force in Newtons is given as F0 is equal to 25 Newton with a resonant amplitude of 0.01 meter. Now resonant amplitude means what? They have given you X, that is steady state amplitude at resonance condition. Okay, so at resonance condition they are saying that it is 0.01 meter, and also they are saying that with a period of zero point 0.2 seconds. With a period of 0.2 seconds means what? The corresponding frequency, that is F, is given as, so we have to find out the corresponding frequency F, since how we have given Tp is equal to 0.2 seconds. Okay, so when Tp is given as a 0.2 seconds, okay, so from that we will find out the corresponding frequency F or omega. Okay, now if the same system is excited by the harmonic force of frequency 4 Hz, now till here this is the case number 2, and from here the case number 2 starts. So in first case they have given you Tp is equal to 0.2 seconds, so corresponding omega will be what? So corresponding omega will be 2 pi upon Tp. So we will find the omega, that is the external excitation frequency in case number 1. Okay, and in case number 2 they are saying that if this omega is, that is in terms of hertz, it is 4 hertz, means what? It is change, and what will be the percentage increase in the amplitude of force vibration when dashpot is removed, right? So basically we'll understand how to solve this problem. So first of all, let us consider the case number 1. Okay, so in case number 1 they have given this term F0 x Tp, they have given 0.2 second, and in case number 2 they have given you the F is equal to 4 hertz. So let's solve one by one. So first of all, let's solve case number 1. So first of all, let us find omega. So omega is equal to 2 pi upon Tp, which is given as 2 pi upon point t, 0.2 is equal to 31.41 radian seconds. Okay, so when the harmonic exciting force of 25 Newton is acting, which results in a resonant amplitude of 0.01 meter, that is when F is equal to F0 sine omega t, the corresponding X at resonance condition is equal to 0.05. So this corresponding omega is nothing but 31.41 radian seconds for case number 1. So this is the first thing what we have to calculate. Secondly, at resonance we know that omega is equal to omega n. So therefore R is equal to ratio of omega by omega n is equal to 1. So that is given as 31.41 radian per second. Okay, so this is the condition what we know. Now first of all, let us find omega n. Now what is omega n? Square root of k upon n. Okay, now in case number 1 the condition is resonance, that is at resonance condition omega is equal to omega n, as I said earlier. So What is the omega? 31. So omega 1 will be 31.41 radian per second. So for case number 1, your omega is equal to omega. So put here omega n is equal to omega 31.41. So from this we know m, you will find out the k. So what is k? K is equal to 2003.52 Newton per meter. So in case number 1 we have already find out the k. Okay. Now next step is to find out the steady state amplitude at the resonance. Okay. Now we know what is the steady state amplitude. X is equal to f0 by k. The basic formula, first of all I will write 1 minus r squared bracket squared plus 2 zeta r bracket squared. This is the basic formula what we have, right? Now they have given at resonance. At resonance, this x becomes x resonant. Okay, at resonance omega is equal to omega n, therefore r is equal to 1. So putting r is equal to 1, so put in this particular equation r is equal to 1. So this is a basic equation which you have to remember, and from this you can modify for the different conditions. So how this equation will get modified? So this equation will become x is equal to f0 by k as it is divided by this term will become 0. So 2 zeta bracket square under the square root will give you 2 zeta into r is nothing but the 1. So 2 zeta. So this formula number 1 or expression number 1 is being modified to equation number 2. So the steady state amplitude x is equal to f0 by k upon square root of 1 minus r square bracket square plus 2 zeta square. So this x steady state amplitude is nothing but the x resonant. So what is x resonant? f0 by k upon 2 zeta. This is how the formula I have modified, right? So now once you have modified this formula, you can apply this formula. Okay. So steady state amplitude at the rate at resonance is x is equal to f0 by k. Now this x is nothing but the x resonant. Try to understand this. And this x resonant is given as 0.01 meter. Now once this x resonant is given, okay, so what we can do, you can write as 0.01 is equal to f0 by k as it is. F is known, k is calculated. Now what is zeta? Zeta is specifically first of all, zeta is nothing but the, first of all let us calculate zeta separately. So how will you calculate the zeta separately? Okay, so to calculate zeta, first of all, what is the formula for zeta? Zeta is equal to c upon cc, that is the ratio of damping constant to the critical damping constant. Okay, now this c is unknown. So c is unknown. Why unknown? Because we have to find out c, that is the damping constant. So I can write this c upon, what is cc? Cc is equal to 2m omega n. Okay, so cc is equal to 2m omega n. Now m is known, omega is n is known. So I can put in this formula x. So this formula will become very important. So this will become x resonant is equal to f0 by k divided by 2 into c divided by 2m omega n. Okay, now this 2 will get cancelled and this will become f0 by k divided by c upon n into omega n. Okay, so now once you cross multiply, this x resonance 0.01 is given is equal to, this will become f0 into m omega n in the numerator divided by k into c. So now f0 is given, m is given, omega n is given, k is given, 0.01 is given. So from this you will find out the c. So this is how in this particular formula I have put zeta is equal to c upon cc, that is to c upon 2m omega n, and finally I will find, because there is only one unknown, that is a c, and finally I will find this. Okay, so similarly zeta, put it as a c upon 2m omega n. I will write here for just better understanding. So I will just write here that zeta is equal to c upon cc, that is equal to c upon 2m omega n. Okay, so now from this put everything. So from this 2 will get cancelled. 0.01 is equal to, this is f0 m omega n divided by k into ac. So from this calculation you will get c is equal to 79.56 Newton second per meter. So here the case number 1 is over, right? Here the case number 1 is over. So what is the case number 1? They have asked you to find out the c, that is a damping constant, when this resonance is, steady state amplitude is nothing but the at a resonance condition, that is x resonance. Okay, now First of all, before we move on to the next condition, let us find out the zeta. Now what is zeta? You can easily calculate zeta. Zeta is equal to C upon Cc. Now C I have already calculated, 79.56 divided by Cc is nothing but a 2m omega n. So from this formula I will calculate zeta. So damping factor zeta is equal to C upon Cc. C I have calculated, so I am getting 0.6238. So zeta is greater than 0 and less than 1. So this particular system is nothing but an underdamped system as discussed in the model number 4, free damped orbital system. So this is underdamped system because zeta is less than 1 and greater than 0. Okay. Now new condition. Now in new condition what they have given, the new condition says that the corresponding external excitation frequency of a harmonic force, let us say f0 sine omega t. So here they have says that the omega is changed in this case. Initially omega was at the corresponding time period 0.2 seconds. So now they are saying that this omega is changed. Omega is changed means what? They have given you f is equal to 4 hertz. So from this I will get omega is equal to 2 pi f. So therefore what is omega? Omega is equal to 2 pi into 4. So I am getting 2 pi is equal to what I am getting omega? I am getting omega as 25.13 radian per second. So corresponding natural frequency is nothing but 25.13. That is a natural exciting frequency, 25.13. So this they have changed, right? So now, so as per the new condition or as per the case number 2, so I have got f is equal to omega upon 2 pi. So omega is equal to 2f pi, so 25.13. And now r, from this r ratio, omega n already we have calculated. Okay, so because in the first case we have considered omega n is equal to omega, so that is, and then from that we have already designed a k. So because we have used this equation omega n is equal to k, using omega n is equal to 31.41, we have already find out the k. So we'll keep this design natural frequency omega n is 31.41, and omega, that is the frequency of external excitation, is changed, that is 25.13. So r is the frequency ratio is equal to omega upon omega n, so that is 0.8, so it is less than 1. So now since r is less than 1, now this new condition is not a resonance condition. Okay, is it clear? Now first of all let us find out amplitude of force vibration with damper. Now amplitude of force vibration with damper means what? When there is a damping inside the system. Now obviously in the force vibration damping is very important, but in this particular problem they have asked you to find out the amplitude of force vibration without damper and what is the change in the percentage increase, right? So let us consider that amplitude of force vibration with damper is x1. So use the basic formula, x1 is equal to f0 by k upon 1 minus r square bracket square plus 2 zeta square. So here the zeta is not equal to 0, but zeta is equal to 0.6238 because I am using a damper in this case. Because unless and until you find out the x1, you cannot find out amplitude of force vibration without damper. Okay, so put everything here. Put everything here means what? You know the value of f0 is given, k is given. Okay, so what is value of f0? F0 is nothing but the f0 is given as 20. F0 is 25 Newton, right? K I have already calculated, 2003.52 as it is Newton per meter square of 1 minus r I have calculated just now, 0.8 bracket square, 0.8 square bracket square, and plus 2 into zeta already I have calculated 0.6238 into r is nothing but a 0.08 and bracket square and whole square root. Okay, so after putting all the values we are getting x is equal to 0.0116, right? So you are getting x is equal to 0.0116. So this x you are getting obviously meter, that is the steady state amplitude is nothing but a meter because I have considered all the terms in the SI unit. Okay, now next case, amplitude without damper. Now amplitude without damper means what? Try to understand that. Amplitude without damper means what? Let us say that x2 is equal to steady state amplitude. X2 is equal to steady state amplitude without damping or without damper. Okay, so without damping means what? Zeta is equal to 0. So this becomes an undamped system. So how does the formula change? So let us say that x2, the basic formula, x is equal to f0 by k divided by square root of 1 minus r square bracket square plus 2 zeta r bracket square. Okay, so if this has changed, so now what does the condition says? The condition says that we have to find out the steady state amplitude without damper, that is zeta is equal to 0. So this equation becomes zeta is equal to 0, means this term becomes 0. Now if this term becomes 0, what remains? So x at zeta is equal to 0, that is x undamped condition, becomes f0 by k as it is and 1 minus r square as it is. So now this is the third formula which I have derived from the basic formula. Second formula is f0 by k upon 2 zeta when r is equal to 1, that is x resonance, and x when for undamped condition x is equal to f0 by k upon 1 minus r square. So this is how you have to modify the formula. So three formulas I have used in this particular formula. So amplitude without damper, that is zeta is equal to, let us say it is x2. So let us find. So put f0 is nothing but a 25, k is nothing but a 2003.52, okay, divided by 1 minus 0.8 square. We will get x2 is equal to 0.0346 meter. So now comparing the both, comparing this x1 in meter and comparing x2 in meter, you can see that this x2 is greater than x1. So from this, as per our theory, you can understand that x2, that is a steady state amplitude without damper, is high as compared to the x1, that is with damper. So in force vibration, since there is a continuous application of external harmonic force, damping is very important, right? So now let us find out what is the percentage increase in the amplitude. Let us say x1 is equal to 0.01176. So from 0.0116, by what percentage this steady state amplitude has increased to 0.0346. So we can use a simple mathematical formula. So percentage increase in the amplitude of a vibration when damper can be given as x2 minus x1 divided by x1 into 100. x2 minus x1 divided by x1 multiplied by 100 will give you the percentage increase in the steady state amplitude. So that gives you answer as 194.82%. So from x1 after removing the damper, the steady state amplitude almost increases by 195 percentage times x2, right? Is it clear? I hope it is clear to you. So finally what you can say that, this x2 is equal to 194.82% times of x1. So this is how we have to solve the problem on this type. Okay, so now let's move on to the next problem, which has been also asked in May 2011, May 2012. A mass of 50 kg is suspended by spring stiffness of 12 kilonewton per meter. So m is 50 kg given, k is equal to 12 kilonewton per meter, so 12 into 10 raised to 3 newton per meter, and acted a harmonic force of 40 newton. So harmonic force of 40 newton means what? They have given you 40 x0, and the viscous damping coefficient is 100 newton seconds per meter. So C they has given. So now they have asked you to find out resonant amplitude, resonant phase angle, peak frequency, peak amplitude, and peak phase angle. So all in terms of peak and resonance conditions. So guys, again try to remember that. Always remember this basic formula: x is equal to f0 by k divided by square root of 1 minus r square bracket square plus 2 zeta. This is a basic steady state formula what we have derived. So now this formula can be modified for resonant amplitude, resonant phase angle, peak frequency, peak amplitude, and again we can also find out the peak phase angle. Okay, let us find out one of them. The first step is obviously to find out the natural frequency, that is square root of k upon n. So I am getting it as a 15.49 radian per second. Okay, now once you got this, now we know that at resonance condition, this r is equal to 1, therefore omega is equal to omega n at resonance condition, because they have asked you the first condition is resonant amplitude, means what you have to calculate the x resonant. So in last problem they have given you the x resonant 0.01. Now in this they have asked you to find out this x resonant. Okay, so next condition, so at resonance omega is equal to omega n, so r is equal to 1. So this is the basic thing what we understand. So now once you got this, you can easily find out what? You can easily find out the zeta. Okay, now what is zeta? Zeta is equal to c upon cc is equal to c upon 2 omega n. C is nothing but 100, n is 50, omega n is 15.49. So from this I am getting zeta is equal to, yeah, again you can understand that zeta is greater than 0, less than 1. So corresponding system is again an underdamped system. Okay, because zeta is equal to 0.0645, right? So now first point. What is first point? Resonant amplitude. Now what is the formula for resonant amplitude? We have already derived x is equal to x resonant is equal to f0 by k divided by 2 zeta, because we are putting r is equal to 1 in the basic formula. So I am getting this formula f0 by k upon 2 zeta. So from this I will get a resonant amplitude. Okay, so what is f0? 40, k 12 into 10 is to 3, zeta 0.05. So x is equal to 25.80 mm. Okay, so this answer I am, let us say I am getting some, if I am getting this answer in meters, so in meters it is very small, so you can write this answer in meters also, or you can convert this into the mm. Okay, so I am getting x is equal to 25.80 mm. Now once I got mm, now resonance. Now already we have studied a frequency response curve, that is a phase angle, that is r, frequency ratio r is equal to omega by omega n. So from this curve we have understand that this phase angle at r is equal to 1 is always 90 degree. So no need to do the calculation, directly you can write at resonance the phase angle is always 90 degree. So what they have asked you to find out? They have asked you to find out resonant phase angle. Now resonant phase angle is nothing but phi is equal to 90 degrees. So this is nothing but the resonant phase angle. Now remember that your basic formula is nothing but the tan phi is equal to 2 zeta r upon 1 minus r square. Now this is the formula where you have to calculate the phi, but in this at resonance condition here r is equal to 1, so this becomes 2 zeta upon 0. Okay, now whatever will be the value of zeta, damping does not have any effect on the phase angle at resonance condition, so you put any value of zeta, you will get phi is equal to 90 degree only, right? So from this formula also we can verify that at resonance phi is equal to 90 degree. Third is peak frequency. Now we have already derived in lecture number 2 the equation derivation for the peak frequency. The frequency at which amplitude becomes maximum means what? The frequency omega at x max. What is x max? Maximum amplitude is nothing but the omega p. So omega p is nothing but the peak frequency at peak amplitude. Very important, peak amplitude. So what is peak amplitude? The maximum amplitude, and the frequency corresponding to maximum amplitude is nothing but the omega p. Okay, so formula is omega p is equal to omega n square of 1 minus 2 zeta square, right? And then from this I will get omega p is equal to 15.42. Now let us find out r. Now you know that r is equal to omega by omega n. Okay, so now we have also understand that r is maximum when omega is equal to omega p upon omega n. So here r is equal to r maximum when omega is equal to omega p. So omega p is what? 15.42, and omega n is also, we have already calculated omega n is what? Omega n which we have calculated is nothing but it is again 15.49, right? So it is very close to 0.9. So from this I am getting omega by omega p by omega n, which is equal to r max is nothing but the 0.99. Okay, now peak amplitude. What is peak amplitude? First of all, try to understand what is peak amplitude. Peak amplitude means what? Maximum amplitude. Okay, if I draw a graph of r versus x, okay, so let us say at this corresponding point, at this is nothing but the maximum amplitude, this is nothing but the peak amplitude, or you can call it as a x max. So this peak amplitude, let us say this is 0 and this is, let us say, omega. So corresponding this omega frequency omega p at this x max is nothing but the peak amplitude. So how to calculate this peak amplitude? At peak amplitude omega is equal to omega p. So r will be equal to what? R max. Okay, so in this basic formula, what is the basic formula? X is equal to f0 divided by k bracket square root of 1 minus r square bracket square plus 2 zeta r bracket square. So in this formula you have to put r is equal to r max, because in this general formula you are putting r is equal to omega by omega n, but that is not to find out the steady state amplitude. But to find the peak amplitude you have to put this r is equal to r max, that is omega p upon omega n, that is 0.99. okay, and if the resonance condition is there, you have to put r is equal to 1. So this is how we change this formula. So at peak amplitude you can see that this r is equal to omega p upon omega n. So already we have derived it, calculated this omega n. Okay. So now from this I am getting x is equal to 25.8 mm. Okay. So this peak amplitude is again very close to the resonance amplitude. Okay. It is very close to the resonance amplitude also. Okay. So now I have got this. Now next condition, peak phase angle. Now peak phase angle means what? The phase angle which we have the phase angle at the peak condition. Peak condition means what? When r is equal to omega p by omega n. That is when omega is equal to omega p. So the phase angle corresponding to the frequency at which maximum amplitude occurs means what? When omega is equal to omega p. What is phi? Again, it is very easy. You have to use this formula, tan inverse of 2 zeta r upon 1 minus r square. So directly put here tan inverse of what is 2 into zeta. We have the value of zeta 0.62 something, 0.62, and r put 0.99, that is omega p, upon 1 minus 0.99 bracket square. Okay, and after calculating you are getting this peak phase angle as 86.28 degree, right? So again this is close to 90 degree, that is a resonance condition. Okay, so this is how we have to calculate the all the terms, that is a peak phase angle. Okay, so now once you have understand this problem, let us move to the problem number 3. Again, this problem number 3 is also very easy problem. So what is given? A mass is suspended from a spring stiffness of 5000 Newton per meter, K is given, and is subjected to the harmonic force of amplitude 100 Newton, F0, and a corresponding frequency, that is F0 sine omega t. So this frequency omega is given in terms of F, that is 10 Hertz. So omega is equal to 2 pi F. Remember this. Okay. So now F is equal to 10 Hertz, and the amplitude of force motion of the mass is found to be 20 Newton. So they have given the steady state amplitude 0.02 meter. Find the value of mass n. Okay. So again this is very easy for problem. So how will you solve such type of problem? So first of all, in this problem there is the condition of damping is not given. Okay. If you read the complete problem, the condition of damping is not given. So after reading the problem, there is no any condition of damping. Also the damping ratio zeta is not given, or even C is not given. So that is why we will consider that this particular system is an undamped system. We will consider that system is undamped system. So when we consider the system is undamped system, that zeta is equal to 0. So at zeta is equal to 0, what is the basic formula? We have got x is equal to f0 upon k divided by 1 minus r square, as I said in the earlier slide. Because 1 minus r square bracket square plus 2 zeta r square, zeta becomes 0. So that second term will go on, vanish, and only remaining, that is x steady state amplitude undamped condition will be f0 by k upon 1 minus r square. Okay. So first of all, let us find out omega. 2 pi f, 2 pi into 10, 62.83 radian per second. Since zeta is equal to 0 under damped system, okay, consider this. I will write it consider as not given in the problem. Okay, so x at undamped condition f0 by k upon 1 minus r square. Okay, so from this now you know that what is x? X is equal to f0 by k upon 1 minus r square. X is equal to 0.02. F0 is 100. K is 5000 into 1 minus 1 upon r square as it is. So basically I have to solve the equation and find out the r. So from this I am getting 0.2 is equal to 0.2 upon 1 minus r square. So from this I am getting 1 minus r square is equal to 0.02 divided by 0.02 means 1 minus r square is equal to 1. So from this you will get r square minus 1 is equal to 1. So r square is equal to 2, and from this I am getting r is equal to 1.41. So once you get r, you know that r is nothing but a frequency ratio. So what is frequency ratio? Omega by omega n is equal to 1.41. Okay, and now already we have calculated, already the omega is given. What is omega? Omega is nothing but a 2 pi f, that is 62.83. Okay, so put this into the equation. 62.83 divided by omega n is equal to 1.41. So from this you will get omega n. Okay, and once you get omega n, it is easy to find out the mass. What is omega n? 44.56 radian per second. So once the omega n is found, let us find out the mass. We know that omega n is equal to square root of k by n, a basic formula. So omega n square is equal to k upon n. So k is 5000, omega n square is 44.56 radian bracket square, and from this you can easily calculate the mass m, which is equal to, so after calculating I am getting mass is equal to 5000 multiplied by omega divided by omega n square. After putting into the calculation I am getting mass is equal to 251 kg. So this is how we have to solve the problem number 3. Okay, chalo. So now we will move on to the next problem, that is the problem number 4. Now again problem number 4 is been asked in DOM December 2018 emitter. It is similar to problem number 1. It is similar to problem number. Why? Because they have asked you determine the increase in the amplitude of force vibration upon the removal of damper. So means you have to use the same formula, x2 minus x1 divided by x1 multiplied by 100, and you have to find out the answer. So you can solve this as a homework, right? So you can take a screenshot and solve this problem for the homework. After solving, I will just give the final answer. So the final answer for this is nothing but 320%. So it is increased by 320%. Okay, so same problem. Now again problem number 5, it is also similar to problem number 1. It is also similar to the problem number 1. It has been also asked in December 2018, just a change in the values. So again you can solve as the problem number 1. You can take a screenshot and solve the problem. So after solving you will get some answer. Okay, so now once you solve this problem, so let us solve the last problem again, which is a different problem. So problem number 6 again asked in mechanical vibration paper December 2018. Problem number 6. So now try to understand that. First of all, let us read this problem. A machine weighs 15 kg. A machine weighs 15 kg. So M is given as 15 kg and supported on a spring and a dashboard. The total stiffness of the spring is K is equal to 10 Newton per mm. 10 Newton per mm. So that is equal to 10 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per meter. And the damping coefficient C is equal to 0.2 Newton seconds per mm. So everything is given in the mm. So again same, 0.2 into 10 raised to 3 Newton seconds per meter. Okay. The system is initially at the rest and a velocity of 100 mm per second is imparted to the mass. Determine displacement and velocity of a mass as a function of time and displacement and velocity of a mass after 0.0 seconds. Now if the excitation force of 24 sine 15t is applied to the mass, find the steady state response of the system. So guys, try to understand that this problem is a combination of problem from model number 4, that is based on the initial conditions, and force vibration, that is 24 sine 15. So you have to solve combinedly by using a concept of model number 4 and model number 5. Okay, so let us start. First of all, let us understand. So given M 15 kg, K 10 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per meter. I have converted it into Newton per meter. C 0.2 into 10 raised to 3. Now initial conditions, very important. The system is initially at. What are the initial conditions? The first condition is at t is equal to 0, x is equal to 0, that is displacement. And at t is equal to 0, velocity is given as 100 mm per second, that is 100 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter per second. So these are nothing but the initial condition. So already in model number 4 we have solved a problem based on initial conditions, and then we have find out displacement and velocity of a mass as a function of time. Means you have to first of all find out x, output equation for x and output equation for x dot, and then you have to find out the displacement and velocity of mass when t is equal to 0.5 seconds. So at t is equal to 0, x is equal to 0 and velocity displacement is equal to 0 and velocity is 100 into 10 raised to minus 3 mm per second, meter per second. And at t is equal to 0.5, what is x and what is x dot we have to calculate. So we have to say same as the model number 4, and then this problem continues with a harmonic excitation force of 24 sine 15t, that is f0 sine omega t is given as 24 sine 15 is applied to the mass. Find the steady state response of the system. Means you have to find out the x. Okay, so let us solve this combination problem. So first of all, let us find out omega n, which is equal to square root of k upon n is equal to 10 into 10 raised to upon 15. Okay, so 25.82. Now once you have find out the omega n, let us find out zeta. Zeta is equal to c upon cc, c upon 2m omega n. So put all the terms. C is 0.2 into 10 is to 3, 2 into n is 15, omega n is 25. So zeta is 0.25. So now first of all, we can understand that the system is underdamped system. So which output equation you will use? Underdamped output equation. So zeta is equal to 0.2582, that is underdamped equation. Underdamped system, that is zeta is greater than 0 but less than 1. Okay. So now then we will find out the omega t. What is omega t? Damped natural frequency. Omega into square root of 1 minus zeta square. So omega t is nothing but 24.94. Right? So you can see that omega d is less than omega n, because omega n is nothing but the frequency of free vibration and omega d is nothing but the frequency of damped vibration as the damping comes into the action. Is it clear? So now once it is clear, so first of all let us find out the equation for the displacement. Now what is the equation for the displacement? We will directly consider this for the underdamped system. So it is given as x is equal to capital X into e raised to minus zeta omega nt sin omega dt plus phi, that x and phi are nothing but the arbitrary constants, right? Which we derive with the help of a initial displacement. So what is zeta? Zeta is already I have calculated. Zeta is nothing but a 0.2582. Zeta is equal to 0.2582. What is omega n? Omega n I have calculated 25.82. Okay. So and omega d is nothing but a 24.94. So minus zeta into omega nt, putting you're getting minus 6.66, and this as it is. Okay. So just putting the value of zeta, omega n, and omega d, I am getting this equation number 1. Now at first initial condition, what is first initial condition? Putting t is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. So what I will get? 0 is equal to x as it is, e is nothing but e raised to minus 0 is nothing but a 1 into sine, this term will become 0, so sine phi. So what I am getting, so from this I am getting that x sine phi is equal to 0. Now already I have explained you that when x sine phi is equal to 0, therefore your x cannot be equal to 0. So x cannot be equal to 0 means what? Your steady state amplitude is never equal to 0. It has some magnitude, it has some value. So then how this equation will satisfy? So if this condition is not satisfied, we will consider sine phi is equal to 0. Therefore phi is equal to sine inverse of 0. Therefore phase angle is equal to 0. So in this equation we will consider it means that your phase angle is 0. Okay. So from this initial condition, it is clear that for model number 4, that is a free damped bimetric system, when the system that is for an underdamped system, your phase angle is 0 and there is some value of x which we will calculate, right? Okay. So similarly, I am getting 0 is equal to x and phi. Since x cannot be equal to 0, your phase angle is 0. So remember that phase angle is 0 degree, which you have to put further for the analysis. Now differentiate this equation. Why? Because I have to find out this x dot. Na? So to find out the x dot, again differentiate this equation. You can keep x as a common, and you can consider this e term as a u, and you can consider the sine term as a v, and you can apply the uv rule and you can take a differentiation. So differentiating equation 1, what I am getting, x into sine 24.9 sine 24.94 t phi as it is, and derivative of e raised to minus 6.660 is nothing but e raised to minus 6.60 into derivative of this term. Okay, I am getting minus 6.66. Okay, plus again now x as it is common constant, so x, because it is arbitrary constant, so e raised to minus 6.60, e raised to minus 6.60 as it is, and derivative of sine 24.94 t plus phi is nothing but a cos 24 plus phi is nothing, derivative phi is nothing but arbitrary constant 0, because phi is 0. So 24.94 t into t is nothing but a 24.94. So this is how I have taken a derivative. Okay, so now once I have taken a derivative, so putting t is equal to 0 in this equation, put t is equal to 0 and x dot is equal to what? 100 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter per second. Okay, so putting t is equal to 0, what happens? So this will become, so this term will become 1. Okay, so x into sine, okay, x into sine, now this term will become 0, sine 0 plus phi means what? Sine phi. Okay, so x into sine phi as it is, and into minus 6.66, and this term will become 1. So from this first term, what will remain? Minus 6.66 into x sine phi. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. And from this term, again e raised to minus 660 will become 1. Cos 24.94t means what? Cos 0. Okay, it will become a cos 0, and cos 0 is again 1, and again remaining term will be cos phi. So cos phi as it is, so 24.94 as it is. Okay, so this becomes x dot is equal to minus 66 into x sine phi plus x cos phi into 24.94. Okay, now again we know that phi is equal to 0. Okay, so put in this, again phi is equal to 0. So what we are getting? 100 into 10 raised to minus 3 minus 6.6 x sine 0 plus x cos 0 24.94. So now this term will become 0, sine 0 0, cos 0 1. So it becomes 24.94 into x is equal to this, and from this I am getting the x. So the x, that is nothing but the first arbitrary constant x I am getting as x is equal to 0.00400096 in meters I am getting. Okay, and what is the next arbitrary constant? Phi is equal to 0. So now what they have asked? They have asked to find out the displacement equation. So what is displacement equation? Displacement equation is x is equal to x into e raised to minus zeta into omega nt sine omega dt, right, plus phi, and phi is equal to 0. So this phi will go on. So x is 0.04096 e raised to minus zeta into omega nt minus 6.660 into sine omega t is 24.94. Okay, so this is the displacement equation. And velocity equation is what? This equation. Okay, this equation number 2. So put all the values here, x dot is equal to, and put here. So what you are getting? You are getting this equation 0.04096 e raised to minus 660 into bracket minus 6.6 sine term plus 24 into cos 24.94 t term. So this is my first answer, that is equation, displacement equation and velocity equation. After finding the initial condition, using the initial conditions, I've got x and phi is equal to 0. Okay, so from first initial condition I got phi is equal to 0. From second initial condition I got x is equal to so and so. Okay, now they are saying displacement after 0.5 seconds means what? In this equation put t is equal to 0.5 seconds. In your calculation put here t is equal to 0.5 seconds. After putting, what you will get? You will get the answers. X is equal to 3.098 into 10 raised to 5 meter per second, and x dot is equal to 3.372 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter per second. So this is the first part over. Now second part. What is second part? Given f is equal to 24 sine 15t, that is f0 sine omega t. So comparing both the equations, what I will get? I will get f0 is equal to 24 and omega is equal to 15 radian per second. Okay. Now already we have derived some terms. What we have derived? In the first part, we'll take some values, that zeta is equal to 0.252, omega in 25.82, k is equal to 10 into 10 raised to 3, mass 15 kg, c is equal to 0.2 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per second. So these are nothing but a term, because this is the same problem, just another part. So I will use all these values in the formula. Now what is the basic formula? First of all, let us find out r. R is equal to omega by omega n. Omega is 50 and omega n is 25.82. So r is nothing but the 0.458, which is less than 1. Means what? It is below the resonance condition graph. Okay. So now what is the basic formula? X is equal to f0 by k, square root of 1 minus r square bracket square plus 2 zeta r bracket square. So x is equal to f0 is given, k is given. So all the values are known. So putting all the values, what you will get? Putting all the values, what you will get? You will get a final answer for x, that is 3.2964 into 10 raised to minus 3. So this is how we have to solve a problem which is a combination of free damp vibratory system and forced vibratory system. And so this x is nothing but a steady state amplitude, which is 3.2964 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. I hope it is clear how to solve the problems based on the force vibration. Okay.